together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good after morning. Good after morning. Hope your day is going well. Mine has been all right. I'd call and yell at a company. They didn't want to hear it, but it doesn't matter. I got some news today, and I'm all done sharing. So switch it to this. No. This one's not going to be too long, but I am going to wait a little bit. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to wait a little bit for people to show up. So thank you. Thank you to my rewatchers for your patience. Checking one other thing here. All right. All right. Still waiting for my website to get finished. Let's check on it real quick. Let's see if they've done anything, which they probably have not. Probably not. Nope. Doesn't look like it. View site. Nope. Nothing. All right. I can get it done quicker myself, but they don't turn out like crap. Yep. That's what happens when you get stuff done for free. 11 to 11:30. Oh man. Well, I would have done it earlier, but I was on the phone with Pastor Marsha. The two people I tell that I'm live, they're here. Let's go ahead and get started because people are cheating to listen to me right now. So let's go ahead. Welcome to Daily Charge. I'm Dion. If you're here, please say hello. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. I just got an email. Most of the funding for recovery services in Colorado is going to be cut. They did not meet state budget. So a lot of programs for recovery services in Colorado are going to be gone. This is not bad news, actually. It's darkest before the dawn, my friends. Darkest before the dawn. And I'm not going to get into how that happened. Well, they spent all the money last year and then they didn't do what they say they were going to do. Just put it that way. There we go. That's how you don't meet state budgets. So now all these services that were great or whatever, they're going to start to go away. That means that the sober livings are going to start to go away. The recovery coaching is going to start to go away. The RCOs are starting to go away. And this means that we need AA more than ever in Colorado. We do. This is where we need to rally. We need to rally so we can help save our fellow sufferers. There's a lot of things going on in this world right now. Look at North Carolina, look at LA. Look at these things, I keep hearing, and it isn't that I don't have empathy for people, but all I see is this star lost their home and that star lost their home. What about the people? What about the 60 churches that burned down that provided shelter for people and food and clothing? What about these other people? Those are the people I think about. Even stars that I like or appreciate, their home burnt down, but you got on your private jet and went to your other house in Hawaii or Switzerland or wherever else. And I do not feel bad for you. I am sorry. Okay. It is the sick, the suffering that concern me. See, I've been given something. I've been given a whole new life. I've been given everything in this world I ever wanted, except for a trip to New Mexico or to Mexico, but why at this point? No, there's a lot of hurting people out there, man. And these ways for us to get to them and do 12 stepping had been cut off. But now it's going to be different. It's going to be different. This state is going to need. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Ingrid. I'm really glad to hear that. Those are the people I'm worried about. The displaced people, man. You have another home to go to. I know you may have lost some things you held dear, but I'm going to tell you something. I've lost everything twice in my life, and that includes all the pictures of my kids, all the memories I've ever had in my life, gone. So yes, I do know what it feels like. I do know what it means to go through that. You bet. And I have empathy for it. I know what it means. But you're alive. And you got another chance at this. You know, there's some people out there who have had a great, you know, Rainn, what's his Rainn Wilson from The Office. I love that guy. I think he's great. Does a lot. He went through his house and he was like, it's all gone, but you know what? I have another place to go. I heard what he was saying. A lot of big emotions going on. A lot of big emotions, man. Okay. So there's going to be people in Colorado, they're going to need what it is that we do here. I don't always get answers to my questions right away. Sometimes it takes a few years. In this case, it took about 3. It took about 3 years. And everything I had predicted that would happen in recovery services has happened. I just called one place earlier. It's a recovery workplace. And I'm like, the people that you have listed here have committed fraud. Why are you supporting them? And he blank told me, he said, well, the Attorney General, Michael Weiss, he loves them. And I said, well, he should. He's getting kickbacks from them. See, all this stuff is going to come down the pike, usually sooner or later. Okay. And that's great. That's not my concern anymore. That part is done. I have done my part. The concern now is, where are these people going to go? What is going to happen? Where's the support? Because we're going to need it more than ever. More than ever. Right? I need a group of 50 people in Colorado. You know, we need a wider audience at this point. I'm not sure what to do on that. But I do know that if we all don't stick together at this point, that a lot of people will die. We will continue on. AA will continue on. That's not my concern. Okay. But what they don't need is to be led to these AA meetings where things aren't happening. Right. There's a lot of people lately that have been telling me, there's a big difference between that grassroots meeting and the other meetings I go to. I know. And no, I'm not the element. No, it isn't because Dion started it. That's not why. God. See, what I did is I invited everybody I knew that I thought had a really good sobriety. And it's working. It's already working. Right? It is. Those groups aren't huge yet, but they're going to be very, very quickly. We're going to be listed in DACA, okay? Community Resource Center, which one of the places that will be sticking around. I will make sure of it. Right? It's time to, I love those ones where they call you, then they hang up. All right. Let's just go ahead and take care of that one. Let's go ahead and take care of that one and go to history, and then we report spam. There we go. Do they? I don't know. Anne-Marie hasn't talked to I didn't get invited. I'll be honest. I was a little upset that I wasn't invited because I thought I was a little part of that group, but I guess I'm not. But I am glad, okay, because that's a personal problem and it's my own problem. But I got to be honest. Okay, because I'm looking for a group of people that are like me, and yeah, I like my noon meeting, but it's just something. I don't like these meetings where one person seems to always be in control. It's the same person talking, and like as soon as a parking lot meeting hits, it's like, hey, how's that person doing it? It's something's off. It's weird. It's not quite fitting. So. Well, my meeting's on Thursday too. So, but you come on Saturdays. You already told me you couldn't meet on Thursdays. So, and I think that's really cool. That's exactly how we do that. That's how we get bigger. That's how we keep, so good job. I think that's fucking awesome. See, we can be two things at once. Right? So the fact that it's happening makes me happy. Now we need more of that in Colorado. See, that's where I'm kind of, I need to support my own community, my own area, and I'm glad that we get to have friends all over the place, but I live here and this is where my kids live and the resources aren't available. So there's something that I got to do, right? Or we got to do. Thanks. Thanks. I'm not gonna jump in her meeting now. I'll show up. If it's the right time. I've been trying to do things a little bit later and later. So, but yeah, with this news, and I don't know how to stress it without starting to preach. And got a feeling people don't really want to hear me preach at the moment, right? But what I can do is refer to tradition one. That unity is no worries, Michelle. It's good to see you. That unity is I know, Amber. It was just, yeah. So let me discuss that because I know other people go through this. Because of my self-esteem and my fear of abandonment, when I'm not invited, it hurts a little bit. But my understanding is that is me and not the other person. Okay. But I notice when people don't post to my or comment on my stuff, I notice when they don't like, I notice when they do it for other people. See, it's just to me, it's me trying to figure it out, if that makes sense, right? Because I can tell you now, that person did not go out of their way to hurt Dion's feelings. And that I know, right? Because I could have easily just said, well, what's the link? Right? I could have done that too. See? It's my PTSD. My PTSD and my anxiety. So, but it has nothing to do with the other person. It doesn't, So, because I know I'm invited. I know that. And heck, they were on my podcast. Why wouldn't I be? But then I run mine, and I don't remember everybody. No, I don't. See? So we could even go further with that. Am I getting upset because somebody's doing to me what I do to other people? Oh, you spot it, you got it. See how it's easy to work through these things, and now it doesn't even have anything to do with them, right? That's cool stuff, and it's progress. Those intrusive thoughts are they shouldn't be listened to for me. But I'm going to kind of reiterate some stuff before I go because Michelle was here a little bit late. Well, not late. We're all wizards here. And that means we arrive exactly when we want to and when we're supposed to at exactly the right time. We're all wizards here. It's a running Lord of the Rings joke between Amber and I. And I was actually just discussing this with Pastor Marcia. And I got a link now for when she's preaching if people would like to join. She's a big proponent. I really think you'll like her. I do, and I had a big resentment towards churches. I did, but it was mostly made up. No church did anything to me. And let me do this. I'm just gonna read you the email that was sent to me, and you can tell me what you think of this. Oh, and wow, okay. The legislation, because I said, hey, what are we doing with legislation? He says it's in full swing. The main issue is the significant state budget shortfall. There is an expectation that funds for many services related to substance use disorder treatment and recovery will be cut or perhaps eliminated. Now, you tell me what that means, okay? And it's actually good news. I know it sounds like bad news to everybody, but if they don't have the money, then they can't continue being in business, which means they have to shut down. And that is exactly why AA needs to make AA itself can't make a move. It can't. That's an outside issue to AA. But as an individual member, I sure can do something. Yes, I can. Right? What can I do? How about we start calling all these detoxes and saying, hey, you should use the AA hotline. Why is central office not doing this? Why is central office closed on Mondays and we're paying her $70,000 a year? No, I'm not okay with this stuff. So there needs to be a revision. There needs to, what needs to happen is this. Everybody that's been working at central office for more than 3 years needs to be gotten rid of, and they need to be replaced. It says it. Those are the rules, man. You don't get to sit on your ass. What's going on? What's going on? Now, if I was the manager of central office, I would feel a personal responsibility. I would. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. Central office looks beautiful. They've done a great job. They have. Okay. But we can't be so short-sighted. Okay. What does that responsibility statement say? It says that I'm responsible when anyone, anywhere reaches out for them, but it is for the professionals. And if we dig into it, what we're supposed to be doing as AA members is reaching out to professionals so that they lead people to Alcoholics Anonymous so that we may help them. All right. Thank you for stopping by at all, Amber. I appreciate it. I love you too, sis. I do. You're not like a daughter to me. You're more like a sister. So, yeah, you and Pastor Marcia are my best friends. I told Pastor Marcia that. I'm like, you're probably my best friend. And I don't expect people to say it back. I don't. No. Best friends don't need to be mutual. I don't think. And you could probably have more than one best friend, can't you? Can you have more than one? I don't know. You guys tell me, because I don't fucking know. Honestly. I was at a meeting yesterday and somebody was like, their person's leaving there. I don't know how to do a drain. I don't know how to fix cars. I don't know how to do this. And I said, I'm a 50-year-old man. I don't know how to do any of that either. You're not alone. You're not alone. Right. And that's so this is where we get to be proactive. This is where we can say, all right, because it's going to fall apart like a leper in a hailstorm. I'm telling you. And every single thing I have predicted has come true. Every single part. Okay. Go ask Pastor Marcia. Go ask these executive directors I talked to. They're coming back. They're like, Dion, it happened exactly the way you said it would. I'm like, okay, I cannot predict the future. I am not psychic. Human behavior will tell me everything. It tells me everything. Not only that, but I read this. I read the 12 by 12 and I understand it. That's why I think this is awesome. Good job on her. Good job on her, man. And I fucking stock show mutton busting. I remember my parents used to take us to Cheyenne days, right? A couple years in a row we went. And my dad would give us he gave us like a $20 bill. Back then that was a lot, right? So what I did is I went and I bought I just bought something cheap, right? And I asked for cash back, but the cash I said, can I have a 5 and give me the rest in ones? So I put the 5 over the rest of the ones and made it look like I have a lot of money. I tried to pick up girls. I was 10. I was 10 years old. Why is my phone is going off? 303-724. They keep calling me. All right. Well, it's 8 minutes to the meeting. So let me go ahead, reiterate what it is that I'm talking about. You know, my job, people are just calling and hanging up. And it's the same number 3 times now. Something's fishy. But with everything going on in the world, we've got to stick together at this point. We cannot be divided. We cannot divide at this time. I don't care whether we agree or not on certain things. We can all agree on one thing, that every single person in this world deserves to be here, that they deserve kindness and love and tolerance, that they deserve to be wanted and needed and loved. They do deserve it as a child of God. And I absolutely believe that. And I will not stop until I'm either dead or I get what I want. And what I want is to have every person that wants a chance at a beautiful life to have it. And we do that by meeting people where they are at. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm not an easy person to listen to all the time. Okay. I was just talking with Pastor Marcia, and you know, and she's great at ministering, but you know, she's in a bit of a conundrum, and it has to do with money. You know, there's an expectation when money comes along, and I don't have to do that since I don't take money. So since that expectation isn't there, all I really get to deal with is the truth. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard to hear, but it's even harder to deliver. People don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it, you know. But I told her people do have a choice. They don't have to listen to me. It's not a requirement. So, all right, Amber, I will make sure that I put that in my. I'm gonna try and maybe show up on Monday nights. It depends because she's on the East Coast, so that might be like 5 o'clock my time, and that's more suitable for me. But when it gets like 7 o'clock, I still have a hard time. I wore myself out. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it more than you know. Well, maybe not more than you know. That's an assumption. I love you. I really do. I really do. I love you. Peace out and have a day.